If your spouse dies first, these are the 6 most important things every senior must do to keep living well. No one can ever be fully prepared for the passing of a spouse who has shared decades of life together. Losing someone who has been part of every joy, every sorrow, every meal, and every night's rest is an overwhelming shock. The emptiness is not only in the now quiet house but also in the spiritual void that feels impossible to fill. However painful it may be, life must go on. And to continue living with meaning and peace, the one who remains, often a senior, must learn to adapt and take care of themselves, both physically and emotionally. The first, and perhaps most important thing, is to acknowledge your true emotions. Sadness, anger, disappointment, loneliness. These are all natural reactions. There's no need to hide or suppress them. Courageously facing these feelings, allowing yourself to cry, to miss, even to resent fate, doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, it is the first step toward healing. Writing in a journal, talking to a trusted friend, or simply sitting quietly and feeling the pain are all ways to get through each day. After accepting and beginning to process the emotions, the next step is to rebuild your daily routine. When your spouse is no longer there, every aspect of daily life can be disrupted. Meals lose their laughter, sleep becomes restless, and even simple acts like making tea or folding blankets feel heavy. But these very routines, even the smallest ones, are what help keep life moving with rhythm. Keep the habits you used to share if they bring you comfort. Or start new ones like taking a morning walk, learning a light new skill, or tending a small plant. An essential part of the healing journey is social connection. Isolation is one of the greatest risks for mental health decline in seniors who have lost a spouse. Being alone for too long can intensify the feelings of emptiness. Try to maintain or expand your social circle. Friends, neighbors, relatives. Join community activities, clubs for seniors, or volunteer for small causes. These not only distract from sorrow but also provide a sense of usefulness and connection. Alongside mental health, physical health also needs attention. In reality, after losing a spouse, many seniors begin to neglect eating well, stop exercising, or forget routine medical appointments. This leads to quicker physical decline and increases the risk of illness. Maintaining a balanced diet, light daily exercise, getting enough sleep, and regular health checkups are ways to keep living well and facing aging with intention. Rediscovering purpose is a vital part of healing. After a long relationship ends, the one left behind often feels lost. Each day feels like a long stretch of purposeless hours. That's why setting small goals and new desires, even planting a flower garden, writing a memoir, or learning a new recipe, can bring renewed life to an otherwise cold and quiet routine. The feeling of pursuing something, no matter how small, gives you a reason to wake up each morning. Another important aspect is financial stability and reorganizing posthumous plans. Perhaps your spouse used to handle the finances and household management. After they pass, you must take control of your personal finances. Paying bills, managing savings, making decisions about property, wills, or even your own end-of-life arrangements. These tasks may feel overwhelming in grief, but postponing them only adds more stress and confusion later. One of the deepest lessons grief teaches is to cherish yourself. Now is the time to reflect on the person you are, the one who has lived, loved, and journeyed beside another for so long, and to allow yourself to continue living fully. Not to forget the one who has passed, but to live in a way that honors the love and memories they left behind. Old photos, familiar objects, or a favorite song can become gentle comforts in moments of remembrance. And always remember, true love doesn't disappear. It transforms into strength, gratitude, and self-compassion. Many seniors also find peace by turning to spiritual or faith-based practices. Praying, meditating, joining a temple, church, or spiritual group can offer deep tranquility. Believing that your loved one is somewhere still watching over you can ease the pain and provide inner strength. There is no one-size-fits-all way to cope with loss. Everyone has their own way of dealing with the death of a spouse. But no matter how it's done, the most important thing is to keep living. Not just surviving but living a life that is still full of meaning and love. Because surely, the one who passed would want you to be happy, to be at peace, and to face the rest of your days with as much strength as you can find. Time will never erase the memory, but it helps the wound close. One day, as morning sunlight streams through the window, as birds chirp in your little garden, you'll feel a quiet ease in your heart. You'll smile at the memories, not with sadness, but with deep gratitude for the person who once walked a precious part of your life journey with you. And then you'll realize, you can still live well, still love, still feel the warmth of life, though in a gentler and calmer way. Life after loss is not the end, but a new chapter, one where you continue writing your own story with courage, resilience, and the love that remains from a relationship lived fully. When a life partner passes away, one of the most confusing and difficult changes for many elderly people is the shift in their role within the family and society. For years, they may have been used to being each other's support, making decisions together, and sharing responsibilities. But when only one person remains, that balance is broken. Suddenly, simple questions like, "What should I eat today? Are we going anywhere this weekend?" Or "What should we watch tonight?" become lingering emptiness. Therefore, it's essential for the surviving partner to gradually redefine their role, not as half of a couple, but as an independent individual with their own inner strength. Independence in old age is not just something nice to have. It's necessary for living well. From simple tasks like going to the market, cooking, taking care of one's health, to managing finances and making life decisions, all are part of a journey to reclaim self-reliance. It may be clumsy at first. Sometimes there will be mistakes or moments of discouragement, but each small step helps restore the confidence that once was. Because when an elderly person knows they can still take control of their life, they will also realize that life can still be fulfilling, even on their own. For many, loneliness is not just a feeling, it's a deep fear. No one to talk to after dinner, no more long conversations before bed, no familiar hand to hold during evening walks. That kind of loneliness quietly eats away at every moment of the day. However, overcoming loneliness doesn't have to mean replacing a life partner. It can be about becoming friends with yourself and reconnecting with the world around you. This might mean joining a painting class, where you not only learn a new skill but also make new friends. Or signing up for a dance class, yoga, or calligraphy designed for seniors. These seemingly simple activities bring more than just knowledge. They offer the chance to feel like you still belong to a community, an essential part of filling the emotional void. Preserving memories of a lost partner is also a meaningful way to find comfort. Some keep their partner's clothes, familiar scent, or a framed photo on the altar. Others create a dedicated space at home where they can sit quietly, light some incense, and whisper a few words to the departed. These personal rituals, whether spiritual or simply nostalgic, serve as emotional bridges, helping the one left behind feel not entirely alone on their journey forward. Another deeply healing method is writing. Writing out feelings, heartfelt reflections, or unspoken words can be an emotional release. Some choose to write letters to their late spouse, continuing the conversation in their imagination. This form of expression not only lightens the heart but also reconnects you with your inner self. What might seem like clumsy sentences are often the most effective way to begin healing a wounded soul. Reading books, especially those that explore loss, growth, and emotional healing, can also provide great inspiration. Through the pages, seniors can see that they are not alone, that many others in the world have gone through similar pain and have learned how to move forward. Those stories, those words, can gently touch the deepest places in one's heart and slowly awaken a sense of hope to carry on. In addition, caring for others, whether it's grandchildren, neighbors, or even pets, can be a powerful way to feel that life still holds value. When you care for others, you give love, attention, and support. And through that, you begin to feel that you're still making the world a better place. Many seniors choose to adopt a dog or cat after losing their partner, finding in them a loyal companion, one that listens without needing words and is always there without judgment. A crucial part of living well after a loss is learning to accept change and open yourself up to new things. Maybe in the past you resisted using smartphones, technology, or online platforms. But now, learning how to use these tools, such as video calling loved ones, joining online support groups for widows and widowers, or simply watching relaxing videos, can open up new worlds and help bridge the gap between you and the outside world. Don't forget to care for your appearance too. Many elderly people after losing a spouse begin to neglect themselves, wearing mismatched clothes, ignoring hair and skincare. But remember, self-care is not for others to see. It's for you to feel that you are still worthy of love. A new outfit, a tidy haircut, or a simple face cream before bed. These are small acts of self-love that carry great emotional power. Living alone does not mean living in isolation. Living alone is a chance for you to understand yourself better, care for yourself more deeply, and love yourself more fully. It's an opportunity to rediscover the things you may have forgotten while busy raising a family or caring for others. Now you can give yourself time to rest, enjoy a classical piece of music, learn a new recipe, or simply sit on the balcony watching the sunset. Every person has a remarkable ability to adapt, even when they believe they cannot. Loss is something none of us wish for, yet it is unavoidable. The important thing is to not let it drown you forever. You still have the right to smile, to be happy, to live fully, even if your life partner is no longer by your side. They are still in your heart, in every breath, every memory, and in all the beautiful things you continue to do. As time passes, the wound in your heart slowly begins to heal. The early days, once seemingly impossible to get through, eventually become memories, gentle and quiet. The pain doesn't disappear entirely, but it becomes more familiar, like a part of life, not as sharp, not enough to bring you to your knees. What remains is gratitude, for having had someone to walk alongside you through so many years, someone who loved you with all they had. And then you realize that it's these very losses that have made you stronger, more empathetic, and more deeply alive. You no longer live for someone else. You live for yourself, to make the most of the days that remain. You begin to understand that life still holds so much to discover. There are still radiant sunsets behind the porch, still misty mornings, warm cups of tea on chilly days, and birds calling out to each other at dawn. Death is not an absolute end. For those left behind, it is a reminder of how precious life truly is. Every moment of living, every breath that remains, is a chance to love, to give, to smile, and to be grateful. Though your life partner is no longer by your side, the love they left behind lingers in every action, every habit, every familiar corner of your home. See the time after loss not as an ending, but as a new chapter. A chapter that may not be loud, but is rich with depth. A chapter where you are the main character, holding the pen to write each day with serenity and a belief that you can still live well, still find joy, and still be happy, even if you're now on your own. Rebirth doesn't happen all at once. It comes from the smallest of things: a walk in the park, a friendly glance from a neighbor, a heartfelt phone call, a meal you cook for yourself. These simple acts are the foundation of a new life, one that may look different from before, but is no less meaningful. Allow yourself to feel weak, but don't let pain become a wall that separates you from the world. Open your heart, even just a sliver, to let the light in. Because none of us were born to live forever in darkness. Each person deserves to be loved, to feel peace, and to continue writing their life story, even if the previous chapter ended in tears. In the days ahead, live more slowly, love more deeply, forgive more easily, and smile more often. For you are living proof of the resilience of someone who has loved deeply, hurt profoundly, and yet still chooses to carry on. Happiness doesn't always come from abundance. It comes from acceptance and appreciating what you have. And sometimes, it's in our deepest losses that we finally see the true value of life. Fragile, yet miraculous. So, if your husband or wife has gone before you, keep living, not only for yourself, but as a continuation of the love you both shared, in a new and hopeful way. No one can take their place, but you can choose to live in a way that would make them proud. And in every one of your smiles, they are still present, quietly yet forever.